Hello Lemonistas, and welcome to the first edition of the weekly Lemon Grove News. Here from my office, I have a few little stories for you that I hope you'll find interesting around the world of citrus and food and travel and food culture. So the first story this week is going to be about a new book from Ruthie Rogers and Ed Russcha, a lovely book called Squeeze Me, which is all about lemon and lemon recipes using Ruthie's fantastic cooking skills from the River Cafe in London and from the American pop artist Ed Russcha. We'll also be talking about citrus season, which is just starting, and I'll look at a couple of food festivals which I think are worth attending. We'll also just have a quick look at Portland in Oregon. Bit of sad story there with the US administration, and then we'll look forward to what's in the Substack, the Lemon Grove Substack tomorrow, and we'll be looking at one of my houseplants I have here, just to say, don't give up, patience and time is what you need. So the first thing we're going to talk about this week on the news is beautiful new book, Squeeze Me, Lemon Recipes from Ruthie Rogers, as I said, and Ed Russcha. It's all about cooking with lemons, which is extremely popular now with the citrus season starting, and they have a beautiful, simple recipes, but also incredible art that is accompanying all the recipes. So I'm just looking at the list here. So we've got some creamy risotto al limone and show-stopping lemon tart, and like a beautiful salad with citrus. And it says Ruthie's signature style makes every recipe from appetizers to mains approachable and unforgettable. So I'm just waiting for a review copy of this beautiful book, and then I'll be able to do some cooking and kind of give you a full review of that. Secondly, the citrus season is starting in Europe, Spain, Italy, south of France. And so I'll be doing a road trip later this year, maybe early January, hopefully this year, down to Seville, Valencia, and all sort of Murcia in that area, and popping up to Barcelona. And if you look at in the comments below, there's some links to some UK-based importers and distributors, notably Shrub London, wonderful young company full of foodie enthusiasts, and they have an exclusive deal with the Todoli Citrus Foundation in Valencia to import their citrus fruits, so that's going to be really exciting. Also, Natoora have a fantastic selection of citrus fruits throughout this season. They're all also available to order, and I've noticed in my Riverford boxes, my fruit and veg boxes, they're advertising citrus now, so it's really upon us. So now a couple of nice food festivals that I recommend. Firstly, in my county, Kent, is Broadstairs, right on the east coast. And so this year it's on the 3rd to the 5th. And chefs, I'm just looking here, chefs include Tony Rod, who you remember with his beautiful moustache. He was the MasterChef UK finalist in 2015, and he's just opened a new restaurant fairly recently called 15 Square Meters. And then another interesting chef, Lance Corporal Tanisha Williams. She's a military chef and in the British Army, and she's been promoted as bringing her West Indian heritage into military kitchens. So that will be a really interesting demo. And then Stephen Harris, long-standing Michelin-starred chef from The Sportsman in Sea Salter, which is just nearby to the beautiful seaside town of Broadstairs. Free entry. And also the festival is looking for a festival director. So if you fancy a beautiful life in the east of Kent, do apply. And also on the 24th, 25th of October, we have the Dartmouth Food Festival in South Devon, another beautiful coastal town. And a couple of people I know there are demonstrating and talking about their books. One is Charlotte Pike, who has just published Soup Solution, and she'll be talking soup and all things bread and accompaniments for that. And then also chef and food writer Orlando Murrin, good friend of the Lemon Grove, gave me a beautiful shirt which I'll be wearing once I've lost a bit of weight and can fit into it. He's a little slimmer than me. A beautiful shirt with lemons on. But he's written 2 books, Cozy Food Crimes, Knife Skills for Beginners, and Murder Below Deck. And also Dan Saladino of BBC radio's food programme and of that fantastic book, Eating to Extinction, will also be talking at the festival. So then on to tomorrow, Substack's coming out, and I'll be having a look at why so many books have lemons on the covers, and a recipe from Helen Go in a wonderful new book, Baking and the Meaning of Life. And it kind of mixes her baking techniques and her life as an Ottolenghi chef with her other work as a psychologist. Really interesting book and some great events. And so she's kindly allowed us to use one of her recipes. And I just go to Portland, which is a lovely city in the northwest of America. I had a brief connection to the city earlier this year and last year. And the administration is pushing some troops in there to kind of sort out the problems. But as far as I know, it's just a lovely city. It does have a housing problem and a drug problem, grade class A drug problem. Ironically, one of them is ice, methamphetamine, which is ironic considering the name of the organisations going in there to sort things out. Anyway, I have some beautiful products from Portland. This one is the salt selection, finishing sea salts. And I've got some from Iceland, black sea salt from Iceland. This one is contained in paper plastic wrapping, which is black truffle for obvious reasons. And I've got a couple of others, three others, including this from France, the Sel du Guerande on the west coast of France. I have quite a lot of salts, so I'll be doing a special focus on that on Substack in upcoming days and weeks. And also I have this little collection of bitters from Portland Bitters Project. They come with these nice little dippers, and if you can see that, and they're really good in drinks, alcoholic drinks, non-alcoholic drinks, but also in marinades and salad dressings. So that's my connection to Portland. Still have these lovely food ingredients. And just lastly and finally, as they used to say in the BBC News bulletins, I have this lovely plant. You might guess that it's a pepper, but it's actually a lemon chili pepper, lemon drop chili pepper, and it should be, according to Monty Don and the gardening press, ready to harvest now, but there's just tiny little flowers and little beginnings of peppers. So hopefully in my warm porch it should produce some flowers. Thanks for watching and see you next week.